guys, it's Melissa here from Little Kosher Lunch, and today I wanted to talk to you about fall fruits and fall produce. I'm going to show you what I'm making with the things, how I'm buying them, and what you should be looking out for in the market. First, let's discuss these steamed apples because these are one of the few fruits that I do anything to or that I cook for my children. I typically buy my apples in a bag in the day-old section at the market. This huge bag of, I don't know, like 15 apples or so, I bought for 99 cents at my local kind of neighborhood market. At my big Ralph's chain, they sell bagged produce for 99 cents a bag. When I get these apples, I like to store them in the refrigerator. They keep for a long time. These are apples that I peeled, quartered, and cored, covered with a little bit of water onto the stove, and I simmered these covered for about 20 to 25 minutes until they seemed soft, and then I left them on the stove to cool, still with the lid on. What happens is they get a little bit translucent, and these apples are something that I would put into my waterproof container in a lunchbox. I find that they are so easy for my kids to eat. They can be handled by hand or with a utensil. It's not a baby food like food, and so young toddlers like handling these because they don't feel like they're being spoon-fed. Baby-led weaning parents might like this kind of a dish to serve. The bonus of making your apples this way is that they're in this cooking liquid now. So I actually keep the water, I pour it off into a glass, or I keep them in a glass Tupperware container like this, and my kids really enjoy as a treat having this fresh homemade apple juice, so to speak, at breakfast or with dinner or even in a thermos for lunch. Any type of apple will work and anyone can do it. You just have to be able to boil water. I like to serve my kids in season, so often I'll take them grocery shopping with me. We like to eat in season for cost reasons as well as health reasons and to know where our food comes from. All of these items were purchased at our local grocery store, believe it or not. These are fresh dates that are still crunchy. They're crunchy like an apple right now. I keep them around for a few days until they slightly darken and soften and they get a little bit closer to the dried date sort of consistency. My kids have really enjoyed when odd things like this come into our household. As we roll into fall, I'm buying things like these fresh figs. You may have tried dried figs on your children, but I find that fresh figs are really beautiful and jammy, especially if your kids like sweet things. And if your child is very young, you might want to peel the skin off first to make it easier to eat. My kids are really excited about pears this season, and they're starting to come in at reasonable prices like 99 cents or 79 cents a pound. These are the plums. You know, we're in late summer, early fall, so we still have all the different colored plums to look forward to. These yellow plums have been amazing. And then I really love the fresh grapes, you guys. I mean, so often our grapes are like flown in or trucked in from far away, but the fall season is when grapes are really coming into their own. You can get a lot of variety. You can get local grapes. We even have a grapevine. So these grapes I was able to buy in an open cardboard basket. They were so beautiful with a little grape leaf, and my kids are fighting over them. So look for your local fresh, maybe different grapes from what you're normally buying. I also wanted to quickly discuss veggies because I think veggies get a bad rap, and I think a lot of kids are willing to eat veggies if you just offer them. My children were super excited at the market this week when we picked up these striped aloha peppers. These are just a striped red and orange bell pepper, but they're so beautiful. They would be so beautiful grilled in a salad. One of my friends on Instagram suggested a couscous with grilled peppers, and we just like them with dips. So a lot of these foods are things that you can just rinse and chop and serve, put in your lunch boxes, or eat them at home and offer to your children. I am all about offering variety. Speaking of variety, you can also find things like these round zucchini. These round zucchini can obviously be cut up and be put into a ratatouille or other cooked dish. Or I like to take these, cut them in half, scoop the centers out with a spoon or melon baller, toss that with crumbs, maybe a cracked raw egg in there, mix that up with seasonings and put them back in and bake them for a stuffed zucchini. And I find that my kids are willing to give it a go when it looks interesting like a round zucchini does. Striped eggplants, you guys, my kids are not super excited about eggplant, but I am. So I let them fill my cart to their heart's content with these beautiful eggplants, and I'll be cooking them up maybe in a ratatouille, but also I do eggplants Chinese style with some ginger and soy, and it's delicious with rice. I feel like squash is a really easy sell for children. So as we move from from the simpler summer squash, which have a really mild flavor. Then we get into the winter squash, like this kabocha squash. And I love that a lot of the squash come with cooking instructions, baking instructions on them. So if you're nervous, go with one that's really easy to peel or just to cut and scoop the flesh. Some of those other squash are kind of complicated shapes. I love delicata squash. Those you just cut into rings and roast on a cookie sheet. Brussels sprouts are not ready yet, but you know I love serving those to my kids. They call them baby cabbages. And I think as long as you are offering unfamiliar foods that are quality at the peak of ripeness and in season, offer those new foods without any commentary, without any doubt that your child will eat it, and without any pressure. And I think that it's really a great opportunity for your kids to learn. Worst case, you and the other grown-ups in the household will eat them. There are a few other things that are coming into season, but that I didn't have available to show to you today. I pack a lot of things like apples and honey, dates, figs, and pomegranates in my Rosh Hashanah lunch boxes, and I will link up in the description box some of my Rosh Hashanah content in case your brain is already going there. As always, thank you so much for being here. I hope that just giving you a window into my crisper drawer and produce for the week is helpful for you as you envision new and exciting foods, nutritious foods, less expensive foods, and seasonal foods that you can be sharing with your children this fall. Have a very happy back to school, and I'll see you back here on my channel soon. Take care.